Afternoon, guys. It's now 2:40 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's Saturday the 2nd of April 2022. Hope everybody's staying safe, being practical and keeping themselves out of harm's way. Allotment At LAST allotment. Thanks for popping along, and if it's your first time here, think about hitting that subscribe button, then the little bell icon. Select all, and that'll alert you every time I put up a new video. Thanks very much for all the new subscribers just recently. Really do appreciate it. About 860 or something now. Absolutely delighted with how things are progressing, and I hope you guys are getting some enjoyment out of the content that I'm providing. So the reason it's 2:30 p.m. to 2:40 p.m. even is because I've just been cracking on today. I had my son-in-law Andrew came up to give me a bit of a hand today. Because I'm pretty much fallen behind with having the decorating to do in the house and one thing or another. It hasn't completely been only that, but other things as well. I'd started to fall behind, and I was starting to get a bit panicky, and yeah, I was getting all uptight. And Andrew kindly donated his morning, came over and gave me a hand today, and he got an absolutely cracking job done, which I'm going to show you shortly. Whilst I've been pretty much just pottering, but very, very time consuming. But the good thing about it is, although it's time consuming now, it'll last for many years, and we're going to show you that as well. I'm just having a cup of coffee because we've only had one today. I also had Michelle up, my daughter, and two grandchildren and Jay. So we've had them up today as well, and the kids have been having plenty of fun. Curtis has been giving us a hand carrying the compost over for his dad. I'm giving too many secrets away now about what we've done. But yeah, Leo's been playing in the muck, as he always does. And Jay's been a good help as well. And we'll show you what we got done just as soon as I've had this cup of coffee, guys.
Go on, Jay, lad. See you time.
Got a few helpers today, guys. Got Michelle up and Andrew, and the grandkids, and Jay. Jay's just moving all the compost over for me. The plants are all tickety-boo. The potatoes are still chipping away there, but they're fine. They've slowed down now that we've got them out in the daylight. All the lettuces and cauliflowers, curly kale and onions, leeks are all coming along. The cabbages we potted on last week, they've all picked up again into these bigger pots and doing positively well. On with the job of showing you what I've been doing now. So what we've been doing is what Steve had done basically. He made himself some panelised grow boxes, and that's what I've basically done. Now this one here has got the micro mesh on, so this has got the very fine Enviro mesh, and this is the lid. Then we've made two end panels with polythene and two side panels with polythene. Now as you can see, these are only going to cover half of one bed, so you can imagine how long it's going to take me to make them for all of the beds, guys, but little and often. So this, I have enough made now to make one complete plant protection basically. So we're going to take that over and we're going to get it assembled. Our turnips have positively thrived, however, as you can see, we're already getting damage on the leaves, flea beetle or something. So they're already getting the leaves damaged in there, guys. So yeah, as long as we can get a bit of size about them before the damage becomes too severe, they should make it, guys, with a bit of luck. And now on to the major feature of the day. This is what Andrew's been doing for me while I've been pottering, making this frame. And this is an absolute fantastic job, guys. The work he's put into this is unbelievable, but I am delighted. As you can see, the polytunnel's all been, the treehouse has all been cleaned out now. So in order, we've got an orange tree planted straight into the ground now. So we cut a square out the membrane, it's dug out, planted the orange tree. So we've got the apricot and the other two peach trees in here as well. I ummed and ahed with building a structure to plant them outside in a bed, and how I would protect them in winter, and I thought, you know what, that is more work than it's going to be worth. So what I'm going to do is dwarf them. So this is the apricot, and we've basically chopped it down. I know they were much taller than the actual greenhouse, so we chopped them down, and we're going to have them as a bush as opposed to a tall tree. We will have to manage it, but they have got room to grow, as you can see. So they're still quite a sized tree, and they're much bigger than the orange and lemon, but we've dwarfed it basically. This lemon tree here, you can see, is being really suffering. It was suffering in its pot, and it's got leaf curl. Now this isn't like peach leaf curl. This can be caused by insects, etc. However, it's not insect damage. I've already checked them all over. The leaves are healthy otherwise, and what it is when it was in that pot, I don't know if you can remember, but it was sitting over in here in soggy water. And one thing citrus trees do not like is to be sat in soggy feet. They don't like the feet wet. They like to be watered, a good watering, then just left to dry out. But now they're actually planted into the good soil underneath, with a dressing of compost on top, fish blood and bone scattered around, I shouldn't need to water these trees more than 2 or 3 times during the summer months, unless we get an horrendously hot summer. The whole bed needs a good saturating now, which I will do either later today, but all the trees have been watered in, and I'll either water this entire bed before I leave today or tomorrow. Then in here we've got one of those peach trees, which was way above the roof, and we've taken a good quarter of this tree down, but again we've left plenty of branches on it. We've cut off anything that's actually, there's one more to come off there, but I've left that because the label's hanging on it for now. But I've basically gonna contain it in a bush, but they'll still do much better in here than outside, guys. And they're protected, so they shouldn't get leaf curl. And even if we just keep it as a small bush and only get 5 or 6 peaches on it, it'll be worth the effort. We've also planted one of the dwarf peaches directly in here, and that will never get more than 4 feet in height. It's only got that big in 2 years, but it's got a lot of branches on it. It had flowered again. I'm not sure whether they got pollinated or not, or whether it's been too cold. The ones over in the where I sit in that area are still in full bloom like these, and so are these. These are bonfire peach. These are 2 bonfire peach I bought last year, and they were in a sorry state when they arrived, and this is going to be their first year with me, but they were both in a real sorry state when I got them. But they've flowered beautifully this year, and these are going to get planted in the other polytunnel over there. And then last but not least, we got the other peach, the other Red Haven peach, planted in this corner here, and we've brought it sort of forward a bit so we can let this bush out, and there's a little bit more height on this side. And then what we're going to do is interplant. I mean, these aren't staying in here, these are getting moved on into bigger pots. It's another lemon and orange and a lime, and I haven't decided where they're going yet, because when all of these come out of here, I'm thinking of bringing over the mandarin and perhaps another peach, dwarf peach like that one, or the nectarine, and putting a nectarine and another peach, dwarf peach. And then what we're going to do is interplant these trees with lettuces, etc, 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 and they'll get some shade from the canopies above. Or onions, garlic, all sorts. Well, it's limitless now, guys. But I've now got all this extra growing space. We could put tomatoes in here, but I'm a bit apprehensive. I had to think about putting tomatoes and peppers in here, but if the tomatoes attract green fly, that will also damage the fruit trees, and I don't want that. So, but what I will do is I will put some Enviromesh on the back of these doors. Still got the airflow, so I'll probably do that as well before we do any of that. And likewise with that window, I'll put some Enviromesh on there as well. That'll just help to keep insects out, hopefully. It's a challenge, as everybody knows, guys. Right, I'm going to crack on and we'll get this protection cage assembled. Right guys, here's one I made earlier. So what we're going to do is just assemble this to give you an idea of what it is we're trying to achieve. And I've made these so they'll fit internally to the beds. So these are just going to sit in here with a bit of luck, if I've done my measurements right. And all we've done is we put 4 screws in a panel, in the end panels. Line it up. And assemble just like that, very quickly. And as I said, I got my inspiration off Steve from Green Side Up, so thanks for this, Steve. So yes, it takes a bit of time, but I did always intend doing these, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do them. But Steve's inspiration, I'll give them plenty of height. These beds aren't very wide, but the main thing is they're very quick to assemble. Now that they're built, it's just literally, as you can see, they're very, very light as well. We just simply put them like that. We can button this right up nice and tight so insects can't get in. And as you can see, job's a good one, guys. Very, very simple, very quick, very effective. And if I want to, I can lift these off in a one. They're light enough that I can do that. Well, the other option is we can just take out one panel to get at the plants, or do weeding, whatever we want to do. So basically I can just loosen the screws on the sides here, same that side. I can just lift that panel out, do the weeding and put it back again. Obviously I'll need a drill, but yeah. I was going to put bolts through like Steve did, but then I think the drill just makes that much stronger, the screws rather. That's just my opinion. And it's 2 seconds with a drill, guys, to do that. And then of course the top is Enviromesh so that the rain can get in. The top just goes on there. And I've simply got 4 screws, one at each end, which we don't even need to take them all the way in, just to hold it in place. And there we have it, guys. We'll make another one to fit in here, because I can take my measurement now, because I think with the way I've designed this and put the panels on the ends, I might need to make the next one a tiny bit smaller. So I'm not bothered if the odd sizes, I'm really not. But as you can see, so that there took almost a full pack of, so I think it was 8 out of the pack of 10 lats. But it's still surprisingly strong. Although they're only thin lats, still work out at £2 a piece or something like that. But for 16 quid, if you, I mean, I have the plastic and I have the Enviromesh, I've got loads of it, which obviously was purchased, but you're probably saying you're looking at 20 quid to build this. 25 tops if you didn't have the other materials. You'd be looking at £25. But that's 4 foot more or less, 4 foot by the width of my bed, which is 30 inches. Well, they're actually, so they're internal to the beds as well, so it's 28 inches. Now, a couple of options with this. For securing them in winter, I mean, like, I can disassemble them and stack them in the garage, which is probably what I will do. But if I decide to leave some winter crops in, but I still wanted some protection on them, what I can do is simply just drive a screw into the bed, 2 screws into the side of the bed, and into the runner in the bottom, and that will hold this from going anywhere from any gales or winds. But we're going to make these in different modules as well, so we'll make some that's a number of Enviromesh panels, so we can have them just Enviromesh, or we can have them with plastic to protect them in the real depths of winter, and then swap over to the Enviromesh if we need to. And for some crops that don't need real protection, they'll be there initially, then they can be disassembled and put away. So yeah, like for potatoes, I won't need them, so I've got plenty of time to build these ones, because the first crops in these beds are nearly always potatoes, but with an exception this year there won't be in these two. But because I'm not using that bed over there now for those trees that are now in the ground, we'll be using that again for potatoes, potentially. Although I could move this over there now, that's the other beauty about it, and put cabbages in there and protect them over there, and put these 2 beds full of potatoes. You have so many options with this, it really is brilliant. So thanks again, Steve, for your inspiration, mate. It's going to take me a while, but I always intended to build something to this effect. And to be honest with you, it's 25 quid if you didn't have the other materials. It's still far cheaper than anything you can buy on the market of that size. Right guys, we've got another set of frames made up ready for tomorrow. So that's another full protector, all panelised. Just need to get the plastic on and the Enviromesh, and we'll get that done in the morning. Then that'll be one bed complete. Right guys, final round up. I'm just having my cup of coffee. Then I'm going home for some food. Yes, a massive thanks again to you, Andrew, for your help today, and Jay, and Curtis, of course. I really do appreciate your help, mate. That's just put me back on track, which meant that I didn't have to kill myself today, and I've actually quite enjoyed just making those panels and covers for plants. Now, like I said, it's taken a full day to do 2 sets equivalent to 1 bed, but I've just been pottering and doing other things in between. But the good thing about them is, once they're made, that's it, they're made. They're going to last me a number of years. They can be easy on and easy off when I need them. So I'm going to benefit from that massively, in spite of the time consumption that they take. It isn't that they're difficult, they just take time. Because you want to get it right first time round, guys, and then they can be used over and over and over again. And they're all screwed together with big long screws. So they're pretty rugged, but very lightweight. Right guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know I've enjoyed my day. Visit from Andrew, Michelle and the grandkids again. That was nice. Michelle brought me a nice pizza slice up as well, which is just a little bit of lunch. So thanks for that, Michelle. As always, it's always nice to see you guys, and thanks again, Andrew. I really do appreciate it. Hope you've all enjoyed today's little video. Don't forget to like, dislike, leave a comment in the sections below, and if you haven't already subscribed, think about subscribing, hit the little bell icon, select all, and that'll alert you every time I put up a new video. For now guys, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe, be practical, keep yourselves out of harm's way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.